Okay, so I got the pin cut off of the other side. I dropped the blade frame down. I've got it sitting on a railroad tie there. I don't know what I'm gonna do to try to get them out, but I think I'm just gonna try burning the pin out of it. This is not a fun way to do something, but if I torch through the pin, I can cut enough out of the center of it, it should come out. Might get a little hot and nasty, I don't know. It may not even work. But I really just don't want to get under here and just fight with that thing like I did the other side. It didn't do any good. Just spent a lot of energy. So instead of that, we're going to spend a lot of oxygen acetylene and see what happens. Hopefully I can do this. I don't know. that got her hot, didn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, there's some hot molten steel right there. I was really hoping I'd get burned through that, but I didn't. Got the floor dry down there to kind of cushion the effects of the molten steel. I would have thought I would have burned through that pin. That was my goal. It didn't happen. I should be close though. There's a lot of steel come out of it. Oh, steamy in that thing. Well, I got through the pin. That doesn't mean it's coming out, but it ought to make a difference, I think. But we bottomed out there, didn't we? Yeah, sprayed up. I have to torch it off again. This ought to be pretty easy though. Maybe. Yeah. A little hot. Okay, one side's up. Well, basically I just blew through the hole, or through the... This one had a threaded hole in the beginning of it, but it didn't go all the way through. Well, look at that. Huh. I'll be darned, that little dude there's gonna come out. How about that? I must have scared it. Apparently it didn't like the thought of getting burned in half. Well, good deal. I was afraid that one was going to be pretty hard to get burned out, so I got lucky there, I think. If you can call that lucky. I call it lucky. I'm pretty sure it won't go all the way out without hitting it. Track frame. Apparently it doesn't want to come back this way either. So, you gotta keep that hot stuff off that concrete. Boy, it'll pop that concrete. Well, I guess what I can do now is I can torch that off. Well, it might come back in this way, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that pin is hot. That's how you torch a pin out sometimes when they don't come out like they should. I know they make a really neat tool called an exothermic torch, but I looked at the price on one of them and you better really need it. Tell you what, Some of this stuff is just exhausting. The rest of it just makes you tired. I don't know why that won't go through that hole. Pretty much cleaned out. So I don't know how well the new pins are going to fit in this hole. Maybe not good at all, I don't know. It's going to have to be good enough, I think. When you look at doing a lot of this work, it doesn't make sense to get too carried away on it. It's just going to wear out again, need replaced. It looks to me like this blade frame is leaning, but it's hard to tell. So I guess I'm going to have to torch it out anyway. But it'll come out of now. Oh, burning up my pliers. Thought I smelled something funny. Okay. Now, clean them holes out and get these bushings out. That was my next thought, was do I torch them out or do I put a weld in them and do them that way? I don't know. It's about as easy where I'm sitting right now just to torch them out. There we go. That one's out. They're easier to cut through if they ain't cracked. That one had some cracks in it. Too. Now another way to do them is to weld a bead around the inside of them and then let them shrink up. But that one had some cracks in it also. I don't know if they got crack putting them in or just got the crack beat out of them. Well, I'm gaining on it. A little at a time. Okay, out in the shop working on the dozer. Well, I got the blade frame bushings. This is the bushing that goes in the blade frame, and what I did is I built me a little driver on the lathe out of a piece of 2-inch steel bar, and then I cut this disc out of a piece of plate and then machined it down to where it'll fit inside the blade frame, and that'll get it centered up when I start it. And after I get it in there, I can turn that over and then push it all the way in. But I found that if you can get these things centered somewhat, it sure makes a difference on how good they go together. But anyway, we'll get under there and put this other one in. I honed that bore out just a little bit to kind of make sure it would go in easier. It had some burrs on it from being cracked. Them old bushings were cracked. But the other side went in pretty easy. I don't know how this one's going to go. We'll find out here in a second. I've had these in the freezer for about a week. The other side went in pretty easy. Well, this one might not go so much easy. I'll use that bushing to kind of center up everything on the back side. That way I'm not having to hold it up. That sure makes it easy starting bushings if you got it somewhat in the middle. And I say it's easy. I think my washer's hanging up here or something. Okay, I think we're ready to get my pressing on that back one there. And the ratchet on this one. Let's see if it'll go in. I guess we're not holding something over there, I don't know. Not on the nut, am I? Okay, come on. Work with me now, work with me. Alright, now it might actually do something. Oh, yeah, like that. The other side was easy. Of course, when I put the camera on, everything goes to hell, seems like. You wonder why sometimes I don't film what I'm doing in the shop. This one is not going easy at all. That's one of the three. I may have to get a hammer. I think it might have started a little crooked even though yeah, I can tell it's a little bit, it's out of line a little bit there. There she goes. It's just hard to lay down under here and hold all this stuff straight, so I thought, well, might make it easier if I don't know about this camera deal under here. Okay, she went a little bit and then stopped. I'm not a very good machinist, apparently. Boy. Really be nice if I could get that track. Just doesn't want to do what I would like it to do. I think once I get it straight, it'll go right in. That's usually the hardest part about driving bushings in, to get a good straight start. Especially when you're under a machine laying on your back. And trying to hold up 10-pound wrenches. I really like back one. I don't understand why. I got the wrench. I guess I got it set too small. I don't know. Yeah, that's a little too small, Frankie. I think I'm gonna, before I go any further, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that back plate over because that thing's centered up now. It ain't gonna do any good. I need to be able to just drive it all the way down. Okay. And for now, I'm just going to make some pins out of some cold rolled. It's 1 3/8. But I've got some I'm making out of 4140. And I'm going to have to get them heat treated because it's a annealed rod. So see, this is just pushing it right in. No hammering on it, no cracking and chipping the bushing. I don't like hammering bushings in. They're hardened, so whenever you hit them wrong, they break or crack. I've cracked them before. But hopefully I'll have the new pins done in a week or so and I can swap these out. But I kind of need to get the dozer going. I got a job for it. So, okay. Run that into the bottom and then we're set. Now I just gotta get my temporary pins now I think what happened here is the bolt got against the blade frame. I have to tighten or loosen that off a little bit. There just ain't nothing funner than working under a machine like this. Except for maybe watching somebody else do it. Might be even funner. No. That dirty dog. I might have to shorten up the bolt next time I do this. If I ever do it again. Yes, it's tight. Okay, come on. There we go. I still think that was easier than swinging a hammer under here. And having the bushing cold helps a little bit. I don't think these fit just super tight to begin with, but honing it out might have loosened it just a little bit. Anyway, I got my neat little, I think that's a pretty handy little tool there. So that bushing's in, the other bushing's in, so now I just got to finish my pins up, put them in, get this thing ready to put the top back on it.